Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day to Quest Economy. We're back in the final episode. Um, it was going to be initially like a building montage of like going through like all the different building, like finishing off the ship, which I've done. It took me a long time. That's why the video's taking a while. Also, I've been distracted by other videos, and my normal like time lapse style videos might change a bit because I gotta switch the music I've been using and stuff like that. But I do plan on continuing. excuse me, continuing with the new once the new updates out for economy. The new series may take like a week or so. The only reason why I say that is because I want to make sure that any of the mods I'm trying to use, if there was any grain baking bugs with it, that they get addressed. As you can see, I have painted the ship mainly blue, black in some areas, and let's go get it irradiated. The thrusters are purple, and then different sections are black. I don't think it's the same black as this. It could be. I'm not sure. Nothing has changed with this guy. Mainly I just somewhat finished this. It's more complete than before. Added to start. Oh, let's get rid of this. I started to add like little ports for parking for fueling. I have a whole bunch of thumpers around. I tried to mess around trying to get platinum mined out, but that's just putting it to be by just a regular vehicle. Let's get inside this guy here, and I'll go over some changes that have happened since initially this the walls were made out of like roof pieces of this karambit, but it wasn't giving me the tightness that I wanted, so I just went with regular walls. We still have like some of the karambit up here in different areas to give it like the structural, since it's like nice and tough and all that. If I was to continue this as a full outpost, especially trying to use these dumpers to fully mine, I would need more, a whole lot more. Just to keep up with the generators. But I guess once all the tanks are full, it'll be fine. But to get to the full state, and I had a whole bunch of generators. Like at first I would think this is what I had initially, and then I kept adding more. Like I was building, wait for like my radiation to wear off, especially before I kept adding more of that stuff before I like filled in the space. It's like if I did anything else, I would add a vent controller to each one of these smokers and tanks to turn off to indicate when they're filling and when they're not. And also to turn off like actually turn off each one of these things as they get full. Especially once we start capping out. Because if we look in here, that tank's slowly depleting. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 at 100, 41, 41, and then I have 3 tanks that are off. And then our oxygen is full. So we got plenty of oxygen. So like if a ship came off the dock, will be good. This is what I did with the little trophies. I put them out kind of on display a little. This wasn't exactly what I was going for. I wanted to use like the angled spotlights, but it just wasn't working how I envisioned it. So I ended up with this. And overall, I think it doesn't look too bad. Just something different, and like I know my building's not like the greatest, but I do think I'm getting a little bit better sometimes. And I didn't want just full walls or just full window between this front area. Granted, this front area is for guests, even though there's no like vending or anything like that. It's mainly just a place to come in and breathe. And this is all for the production side, as you can hear the thumpers. Okay, we're good. Let's head back out. Because we also have this giant solar panel. I just want like a simple, instead of just, it wasn't gonna be fully angled, but it just didn't look right. So I did just angled at the very beginning and then straight down from there. I could flare it back out if I wanted to. Put a turret up here. Like if I did anything else, I would possibly add stuff so that it goes around. So this isn't a complete pancake. Not pancake, but so it's not so squishy. That would probably be the other thing I would do there. I did get the, let's sit in here for a little bit. I did get the ship back up after I dropped it, which was my mistake because I forgot that this was completely ion. So it's like I put a whole bunch of like thrusters on, just atmospherics on, because there's a little bit of gravity, just to get us up real quick, and then just relocked and then took them off. Didn't change anything with this guy. Yeah, not much is, I don't think anything has changed with any of this stuff. But yeah, this is roughly the base in this nutshell of everything. Added some more lights. As you can tell, I wasn't actually using my headlight at all. There's also daylight outside, so that also helps. But sometimes you just need your extra headlight. This room was dark. Because I forgot this at the beginning when I was about to record. I'm like, let's put some lights down. Granted, I tend to use interiors, but I went for corner lights. Granted, there's no extra light over here because this the catwalk takes up all the space. But yeah, it's like overall I enjoy this build. I do wish it was a little bit easier and better in terms of like the economy side of things, but as we know, the new update is economy, so it's like I got screwed over a little bit, but it's all fine. It's gonna work. It'll work itself out, and maybe after the next series we may try to do something else with economy, and it should go a whole lot better. Maybe it's like the next series. Like I think it was one of the main mods I want to use is like the better resource mod, which kind of slows you down a little bit because it adds like copper and aluminum to be used in some of the either like interior plates and some other items. It adds a couple more components, so it's kind of giving you a little bit of industrial overhaul without the complete industrial overhaul thing. So like it was slowing me down just a little bit, which I think I'll enjoy, especially if I can try to limit myself to each thing only does a certain thing to make sure I use just like to get, you know what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying, right? To give myself everything, not give, but allow myself to kind of like here. Like this one was strictly, oh, I'm a space miner. I know where stuff is, let's go get it. This one was strictly a planetary miner, but it can function in space. It was to get me down to from space to the planet and back. And this was our beginner, which turned into a little scout and then a little welder at the end, but not that great, but it worked. It did its job, but for the most part, most of the mods I plan on using, there's a few mods that I probably won't include in the new one. Probably the ones that has all the armored conveyors and the extra, because I haven't really been using much of that. And with vanilla, with the base game, with the modular cargo container, that gives me the type of container I want. So I don't really need to use anything else, because if I want to put anything on the workshop, I want to, which I haven't. I would like to. I just haven't found anything that's worthwhile to put on there. But hopefully in the next series I do. I should have given this more color. I just, at the time when I was building it, I'm like, I don't care. I just want it done. These two lights are the only lights for the room, whereas these are the display lights. I think it turned out pretty well. I think I got them on the side 3. Yeah, I got 3 lights over here. Alright, how much ice have we used? Yo, we're tearing through that ice. Alright, let's check. I'm just wondering, since I'm just rambling. Okay. We gone up 20% since me just rambling on those 2 tanks. Not bad, not bad. But like I said, it's gonna take a long time to fill those up. and as I've gotten the desire, I was working on it. I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Let's build. Let's build a little. But I do want to try to use more shapes. I do want to try to actually build like stuff that looks more like houses instead of just bricks and stuff like that. Because I know it's possible. Or try to get creative and use connectors and small grid to give more like the finer details, because some blocks are only in small grid versus large grid and type stuff like that. Like I do want to try to use other gun packs, especially ones that don't include weapon core, because I still don't understand weapon core. Vanilla is just a whole lot. Vanilla gunfire is a whole lot easier for me to use, to be honest. So it's just one of those things that either I gotta get used to, or we'll try at some point. I do think the 2 vent system was the best option for this space, for how big it is. Especially if I did take this wall all the way up, it gives you a vent for each side. I didn't plan that when I built the wall. I just started building the wall and it just happened to be in the middle. I really was not planning that at all. I didn't even notice that until now. Happy coincidence. Because if I did this shape with these windows as well, oh, that would have looked a whole lot better. I'm not changing it. Not changing it. Let's not have our dampeners off. But I'm just rambling just to talk for the moment. As we say goodbye. I probably should use bigger windows instead of just these 2x1s. I don't know, but sometimes it's nice to have the full breakup like an office building. But it would have been better if there was also like a row in between to like a simulation of a floor before you get to the next window. That could have been a thing. I do like these new doors though. I didn't like the offset one because the 2 would have been on this side. So that's why I went with this guy, which works out pretty well. But I do like these double doors here. So I will still be using those for like airlock situations. It just makes it a little bit easier. How many do I have? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll probably need at least another 8 more. But I did put them decently apart so they don't interfere with each other. I was a bit lazy and was using more conveyor blocks instead of or junctions to get my connection points and stuff like that. But that's what happens when you're being lazy. But anyway, I think that's enough. Let's go ahead and close this. We don't need this open. Let's look in here real quick. I haven't been in here since we built it. Ow. Never mind. I'm just gonna get irradiated. Best door to go through this one. Ah. There we go. as we get non-irradiated. Because I took too much liberties. Let's go ahead and close that to that way. But I do plan on using the food update because I do enjoy. I think it's a. I do like the food update, to be honest. It's just my next playthrough is gonna be very hard because there's zero vegetation, so I gotta get all my food from either the unknown signals and are getting lucky with some of the NPC drops from stations, which is going to be fairly difficult because combat's not my strong suit. If I do use combat, I blow everything up completely. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this little sorry, lost in thought. Hope you guys enjoyed the our little end of my little showcase of what has happened since the last one. Everything I've done, and I hope I see you in the next series, and until then, later.